Hello everyone, I'm Brad Baker here at Mount Feake Cemetery in Waltham to take a tour of the trees and awesome vistas that are unique to this location. So here we are across the river from the watch factory, between the railroad tracks and the Charles River on the Prospect Hill Bridge. As we enter, we have these wonderful beech trees. I call them the Beech Brothers. And since this cemetery was developed in the 1850s, these beech trees must be 150 years old. Next, we're going to travel to the only ginkgo tree on site. We'll stay to the right on the road going on the right side of the mountain. See you soon. Here we are at the ginkgo tree. You can begin to see the buttery yellow color that it gets, especially when the afternoon sun that comes up the valley on the right hand side of the mountain really makes it glow. There you can see Mount Feake. The top is up there, and we'll be going there next. Besides the ginkgo on this side of the cemetery, we have the railroad tracks down below in the cut. And then we have this beautiful tulip tree. Same kinds of yellow as the ginkgo. And you can see Children's Hospital behind. So I'll see you at the top of the mountain. Hello again. Here we are on the northwest side of the mountain, looking towards Brandeis. You can see the water tower on the right. That was on top of the mountain in cedarwood. And where the chimney is, you can see the castle. From the top of that castle roof, you can see all the way down the Charles River to Boston. Likewise, right behind us is the path that leads up the mountain to the big rock that is Mount Feake. This is very similar to Mount Auburn Cemetery in that the top of the mountain is literally just a rock 10 or 15 feet in diameter. What it shares with Mount Auburn is that it is a rounded little mountain that's right in the confluence of 3 different valleys. And there's always a breeze here, which means there's always insects and birds finding the eddies in the air currents as it swirls around the mountain. And that's how they kind of capture all the insects and chase them. One of the other unique features of the ginkgo is that its orange fruits stink terribly. But the animals in certain Asian cultures treasure its delicacy as a delicacy. Next, we'll go around the corner to the right to the southeast side of the mountain. Directly across the railroad tracks, right at the water tower, and between Brandeis and Children's Hospital to the right, is the Temple Beth Israel Cemetery. There is a sliver of native forest there and 2 ponds. So it is a hotbed of animal life. Unfortunately, as it was developed, so much of the native forest came down, it is now more than 50% Norway maple trees, which are known to be so thick in their shade and thirsty, they don't allow other things to grow near them. Again, on the other side, I'll see you soon. Hello. Now we're looking east and south. The Children's Hospital is on the left. The watch factory is on the right. Here is where I spent much of the last couple years doing research on trees and on the ecosystems that work around these specific trees. One of the newest research projects we call the phenology project, and that is how climate and weather affect how trees grow and shrubs grow. So we're taking a picture every so often of the top of the flagpole as it matches up with the church steeple in the distance. And from this we can see how trees change colors and or show stress over the course of time. And from this vantage point, I also saw much in the way of wildlife happening in this little corner of the cemetery. We have the bright red maple in front of us, and right behind that is the oak tree, where I first observed during the severity of the drought chickadees, birds, every morning hanging on the ends of the leaves to funnel the dew into their mouths along with any of the insects. They were so desperate for water. And this tree to the right, the oak, I call the storm oak. From this vantage point, I could watch all the storms come in from the southwest with lightning or from the east during the hurricanes. So I learned a lot about the general weather patterns here. And under that oak is where I first saw the squirrel with the tail that could feather out and mimic a red-tailed hawk, just so minutely that it was never bothered. And now its progeny has that tail also. As we come up into the woods here, this is one of the most pristine areas. As I go down, you can see how many small trees are growing in here. So this is the nursery of the trees. Red pine, white oak, red oak, birch trees. In most of our forests now, the deer have eaten and eliminated all of these baby trees. So this is a critically wonderful habitat here at Mount Feake. As I get over to the side of the mountain, I'm showing you what I call the chimney oak. This is the most amazing tree right on the edge of the roadway. During the 2 years of terrible snows, the only place there was any green was right at the bottom of this tree, of this oak tree, on the side of the mountain. It got enough warmth early in the morning that it would begin to grow before anything else. All the insects congregated there, therefore all the birds congregated here. And I saw the red-tailed hawk swoop in with the sun behind it and grab the squirrel right off the back of the tree. I've also seen the red-tailed hawk stomping up and down in the oak leaves, trying to scare up some little critters. Notice how the oak tree on the right has a much different fall color than the oak tree on the left up there. Both huge oaks. The one on the right has very pointed leaves and is in the red or black oak family. The one on the left has rounded leaves and turns a decidedly redder fall color, is in the white oak family. Next, we'll go down onto the peninsula right along the river. Hi, another short stop on our way to the next location. Top of the mountain, all the different white birch. And what's underneath is the low bush blueberry. Again, you can see so many small sapling trees. And this is why this is the nursery on the site for all of the white birch. Hi, another short stop. This was a seemingly healthy, huge white pine tree. And then it fell over the railroad tracks. As we can see, it really was hollow inside. And as we get up closer, you can see that the cavity, that huge big cavity, was a honeycomb. One of the problems we have with our bee population is we have so few trees that can support native bees that they have become weaker. How do we help keep a lot of these dead or hollow trees around for the bees and still be safe for us?